Hi, I'm Joyce. I have trichotillomania, and I'm going to be answering some of the web's most searched questions about trichotillomania. So, for those who aren't familiar, I have had trichotillomania for about 15 years, and it basically started when I was in grade school. I've experienced it ever since, and ever since last year, I've been a lot more open to talking about it and sharing my experience with people, because that's something that's helped me a lot. So when I type in trichotillomania into Google, the first thing that pops up is trichotillomania treatment. Or a lot of people, usually their first question they have for me is, how do you stop pulling out your hair? What's the cure for trichotillomania? How do I stop pulling out my hair? And there are a lot of different types of treatments, either like DIY, so things that you can do on your own at home. There are like really good resources out there where you can learn more about your condition, and for me, the more that I learn about it, the more I can understand it from like an objective standpoint. But just because you understand something logically doesn't mean it'll go away. I fell into that trap too. The short answer for that, trichotillomania treatment can be cognitive behavioral therapy. That's kind of the most common one, where you would work with a professional therapist or psychologist, and they would kind of help you retrain your brain, because right now trichotillomania basically makes your brain think that if I'm feeling this anxious thought, or if I'm worried about something, if I pull out my hair, I'll feel better after. And because you're repeating that little cycle so many times, you're really reinforcing it. So you're kind of trying to break that mental cycle, because I tell a lot of people this, and I really wish people would understand this, is that trichotillomania is way more than just not having all the hair on your body. That's just facts. Trichotillomania is, I'd say it's more of a mental illness than anything else. And the mental aspect is something that you cannot, what's the word? You can't leave it behind. You can't only focus on like, oh my god, like how does my hair look? Oh my god, like how do I grow back my hair? Instead of worrying about your hair, worry about your brain a little bit too. The next thing is trichotillomania treatment near me. So I know getting treatment or going to see a professional is I'd say it's a good path to take. Like if you can, go see a professional, but I know a challenge that a lot of people have in the trichotillomania community is that a lot of professionals, like their therapists, psychologists, doctors, like, general health practitioners, aren't familiar with the concept of trichotillomania. So I would say look for, or try to find a medical professional that has worked with other patients with trichotillomania or body-focused repetitive behaviors. So that's dermatillomania, like picking your skin as well as pulling your hair. Try to find someone that someone else like refers. Online through Facebook groups or forums or on Instagram is a really good way to connect with people and get their insight on it. So that's how you could find treatment near you, because otherwise it is kind of hit and miss sometimes if you get a new therapist and they're not familiar with trichotillomania or BFRBs or anxiety disorders. Sometimes you end up being the one to educate them. So keep that in mind as well. Trichotillomania Toronto, probably because I'm from the greater Toronto area. There is a BFRB, body focused repetitive behavior support group that meets once a month, but they haven't released their 2020 schedule yet. If they have, by the time I post this, I will post it in the comments. I will still link their website because they have a lot of really good resources that have helped me, and going to the support group has helped me like tremendously. I've been going for a few years on and off, but last year I really committed to going as much as I can. The next search result that comes up is trichotillomania eyebrows, and for those who don't know, trichotillomania affects all body hair on the body. So most commonly it's usually hair on like head hair, eyebrows, and eyelashes, so that's like the three. I personally don't pull my eyelashes or eyebrows compulsively. I'll only do it if I I don't know, feel like something weird, but I guess that's kind of part of it. So, you know what? Fuck it. I do pull out my eyebrows too, but not as much as my head hair. I'd say my head hair is like, if my head hair is like 10, eyebrows would be like 4, and then eyelashes would be like 2. I barely have any eyelashes, so The next thing that comes up in the search is Trichotillomania Ottawa, and I believe there is an Ottawa BFRB group as well. If there is, I'll put up a little screenshot and put the information down in the description. Trichotillomania test, so maybe this is like how do you know you have trichotillomania? And I think, you know, it was pretty simple. If you compulsively pull out your hair, and if that's something that you do not just under stress, because I think that's a little bit of a misconception that, oh, I only do this when I'm stressed. But I used to think that like, oh, once I'm like graduated from high school, I won't be stressed and I'll stop pulling my hair. And then I went to university, and then I was like, oh, once the semester's over, I won't be stressed. And like, surprise, bitch, you're still doing it. Say, read up on other people's experience with trichotillomania. Instagram is really good for that, and Tumblr is pretty good for that. I don't personally use Tumblr anymore, but that's where I originally learned about trichotillomania. And I think when you read other people's experiences of their feelings, of, you know, the sensation of wanting to pull out your hair, kind of the feeling of after it happens, like you don't really feel good. If you resonate with that, you got trichotillomania on your hands, and it's okay. It's not a big deal. I have it. I'm fine. And that's kind of what I want this channel to be. I think this is going to be my first video, but whatever. I really want to be able to talk about trichotillomania in like a candid, casual, lighthearted, positive way, because I didn't see that for a very long time while I was experiencing trichotillomania like by myself. And that really sucked, and I wouldn't want that to happen. I just kind of imagined like 15-year-old Joyce going through her feelings, like, oh, so rough, so tough, and hiding the fact that I compulsively pull out my hair to everybody in my life, basically. So, if you can take one thing away from this video, it's just that trichotillomania is not the end of the world, and you are a lot more than how your hair looks. Let me tell you that. Whew! We got 2 more, so let's go through these. So trichotillomania OCD. Is trichotillomania and OCD related? They're not the same, but I see, personally, like, I think there's an overlap of symptoms and sensations, I guess. Like, you're not like committed to trichotillomania or like any other body focused repetitive behavior the way that like OCD happens. Not that I've had personal experience with OCD, but I do read a lot about psychology and how the certain parts of the brain work. I'm sitting next to my bookshelf, so I'm gonna, this is a really good book. It's called Brain Lock. Who's it by? Jeffery M. Scwartz and Beverly Bayette. I think this book covers like the difference between trichotillomania, OCD, and addiction pretty well. And there's another book, it's called Can't Just Stop. I don't have that one, but that's also a good book. There is a difference between OCD, addiction, and body focused repetitive behaviors, but I do see like an overlap. So whenever I'm like researching about trichotillomania, there isn't a lot of research to begin with. I do look at information about OCD, and some of it does resonate with me. So it's kind of about reading something and learning about like similar topics and kind of taking away what resonates with you. Not all of it has to, but that's something that's helped me a lot. And finally, the last thing on my happy little Google search. What the hell causes trichotillomania? What is it? Truly, that is like, I think the 2 main questions is like, actually no, the main question, why is this happening? That was always my main thing. I was like, why is this happening to me? It's kind of scary to not know, like, why am I doing this? Because it's like, it's not like I want to pull out my hair. It's not like I want to like have to have uneven hair and like hide bald patches from people. Like, that's not fun. There's nothing fun about that. Causes of trichotillomania is it's really hard to say because it's so different for so many people. Okay, let's do mine. So I think my trichotillomania was like for most people it's onset during puberty. So I started pulling my hair when I was around 8 or 9 years old, and my earliest memory would have been like not pulling my hair but like twisting my hair, and I'm not gonna do it right now because honestly it still like freaks me out. Like if I start doing it, I don't like it because it reminds me of like kind of that darker time in my life. So I think it's like kind of an onset from puberty, and knowing how trichotillomania is caused is a lot of like learning about the brain and learning about psychology and learning about like what's it called, like the nerves or fucking. Trichotillomania is like your brain is firing off a signal that like, yo, some shit's about to go down, and instead of connecting to like, I don't know, like something to be calm and like collected and cool, it fires off to like, let me pull up my hair, and then that connection happens. So the next time you feel, oh shit, some shit's about to go down, it's connecting again with this one and not this one. So you're just reinforcing this connection. So trichotillomania is just caused by the reinforcing of that fucking neural connection. And I am not like a scientist, I just like to read shit, and this is what's helped me. Like if I understand what trichotillomania is, like neurologically, it's helped me understand like what's causing it, and that helps me understand why is this happening to me. So I feel a little bit less like guilty and less frustrated, because normally after I pull out my hair, those are the feelings I have. I feel guilty and I feel frustrated. But when I boil it down to like, you know what the fuck can I do? Like, it's just my brain having this like 15-year-old reinforced connection. You know, that isn't something you can stop in a day. Can't stop in like a week. I know every TED Talk's like 21 days, start a new habit, but I need a TED Talk to tell me how to override an old habit, because I think that's way more like complicated and complex than just starting a new habit. That's gonna be it for this video. What other questions about trichotillomania do you have? It could be about body-focused repetitive behaviors, it could be about dermatillomania, mental illness. I'm here to just talk about trichotillomania and fucking pulling out my hair compulsively and uncontrollably, and making sure that somebody who watches this knows, hey, it's okay, you okay. Like, I really want to make more videos to kind of fucking push my agenda of, hey, it's not the end of the world if you don't have all the hair on your head or don't have all the hair on your eyelashes or eyebrows, because for the most part, most people don't notice, most people don't care, and most people, great majority of people, love you for who you are. So, thank you so much for watching. Please leave your trichotillomania questions in the comments. I'll use them in the next video. If you guys want a part 2, because I know there is a lot of confusion and mystery and questions about like mental illness, especially trichotillomania. It's so like shame-based and horrible to like research because it's like no information, but I'll be more than happy to do a part 2. Stay tuned for the next video. I really appreciate you guys for being here, and oh, come say hi on Instagram. Just find me at Pull Yourself Together at Instagram.com, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.